Good evening, everybody. We got UFC Fight Night Hernandez versus Rodrigues this week. Should be a pretty good card. There's some pretty good fights on here. I see a lot of finishes, uh, which is kind of what they're going for more and more in the UFC lately, which has kind of put a small wrinkle in the way that I like to wager. Um, I built my ROI basically off of round prop overs and alternate round prop over parlays, and those are getting harder and harder to do. I almost didn't do one this week, but I did throw one together. But if you don't want to play it because you want to cheer for some finishes and quick finishes, then I don't blame you at all. Um, so I've been kind of struggling more and more on some confident plays. I do have a couple on this card that I like a lot. Um, I have a couple money lines that I really like that I'm going to be pairing together, and there's even a fight on the PFL card that I think is a no brainer. I think she should be a minus 500, but as of right now, she's a minus 340, and I will touch base on that at the end. I'll just tell you, it's Chris Cyborg. Um, I think, shit, that hurt. Sorry. I think she's gonna walk through Caitlin Vieira. Just to let you know, Caitlin Vieira did miss weight. She was 7 pounds over, so she didn't even try. But they still are gonna have the fight. It's it's supposed to be Chris Cyborg's retirement fight. They were supposed to create some belt for it too, and now it's not going to be for anything. It's so, but I still think that Chris Cyborg dominates her and beats her, and now we know why the UFC let Caitlin Vieira go, just because of things like that. So let's get started in this one. First one of the night, we got Dyer versus Reese. This is one of the fights that is live for a finish. My only concern here on a finish is a lot of her finishes. Reese has been finished a lot, but a lot of times that she's been finished, it's been when she's been on her back, and it's been ground and pound and submissions and things like that. She hasn't been finished when it stays on the feet for 3 rounds. So I do like Dyer. I do like Dyer to be the higher significant striker. I like Dyer to be the better striker and have more power. I'm kind of torn on whether or not she's going to get a finish. Um, I want to. I'm definitely leaning that way that she does get one, but just keep in mind it's a female fight. Um, it could possibly not be a finish, but if you want a bet finish, I don't hate that at all. Um, I do like her. If you can find a significant strike prop over, shit, sorry, I like that. I think it should be in the 65 range. That's a pretty solid look too. And then next we got McVeigh versus Schultz. Now in this fight here, I like a finish either way. I think it's going to be fairly quick too within the first 2 rounds. The I think the under 1.5 is like a minus 150 or something like that. I think the over 1.5 is like a plus 130. So the way I see this is a McVeigh KO or a Schultz sub. That's the way I see it going. If if Schultz can grapple, he's live to get a submission. Um, they actually did fight early on in their career, and I believe Schultz got a first round submission, if I'm not mistaken. Um, But I think McVay's a lot better now. I'm actually going to lean towards the McVay side. I'm going to lean towards him stuffing the takedowns and keeping it standing and getting a knockout. Then we've got this one here I really don't like. It's Young versus, I don't know how you want to say it, Dorsonville, something like that. Young, I believe he's a minus 165. Both of these guys have the ability to grapple. Young will definitely be better on the feet, though. I will lean Young, but this fight's a stay away from me. I don't really know enough about Dorsonville to make a confident pick either way. So this one here, I'm going to stay away from. I'm going to lean Young, but it's nothing I would run to the counter to bet on. Next, we got Barboza versus Hughes. I think this is a setup fight. I think Barboza is going to get a first-round knockout. I will say this. If it gets past the first round, Hughes could be live. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is just a setup fight to get Barboza a KO. So I like first-round KO Barboza. And then this is one of our fights that will probably go all 3 rounds. We got Padilla versus Hakaprost. This is a 50-50 fight. And Padilla is the by far better grappler. And on the feet, it's going to be fairly close. I think Padilla is going to have a harder time taking Hakaprost down, but I think he does get him there. And I just feel like he has more ways to win. So I like Padilla to get the win. It's not a high confident pick. This is another one where possibly significant strikes might be a good angle to look at for them. I am using fight to start 3rd round as a parlay piece. Next, we got, of course, another name I can't pronounce. And Jaquani versus Gaziev. This one here, I wanted to take Gaziev so bad. And early in the week, he was like a minus 150. Now he's down to a minus 130. I just feel like the longer this fight goes, the more it favors Njoku. I can't even pronounce it. I'll just say Kennedy. How's that? Because that's his first name. I mean, the more it favors Kennedy, the longer this fight goes. I think he's going to be the faster striker, the more technical striker. He's going to be the more athletic fighter. He's going to be quicker on his feet. But if Gaziev, let me see if I can find my notes here. I just like I've got written down that Gaziev's got more power. That is for sure. And Kennedy's got the speed factor, and I just think as the fight wears on, Kennedy's going to have more in the gas tank also. So saying that I feel like Kennedy has more ways to win, I'm going to go with Kennedy. Plus, he's got a plus next to his name. He's a plus 110 currently still. So I'm going to lean with Kennedy. I'm not putting anything on this fight, though. I'm just going to watch it. And then next we got Emmers versus Douglas. This is another fight that I think it's another setup fight. But I will say this. This is another one where if for some unknown reason Emmers can get takedowns, he could just get takedowns for 3 rounds and get a big upset. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Douglas is going to get a first round knockout. I think we got if this stays on the feet, it's such a huge advantage for Douglas. It's not even funny. Like, it's crazy, almost crazy unfair. I mean, he's just so much better on the feet. So I like Douglas. Douglas early KO. And then next we got Wint versus Chapman. Basically another setup fight. I don't even know why they're giving him Chapman. Like, why do you bring Wint to the UFC? Make a big deal over the Dana White Contender Series. Then you're gonna bring someone that's even worse than Wint to the UFC. He didn't have to go through the Dana White Contender Series. He's just getting a UFC contract in Chapman so that Wint can basically knock him out. So that Wint can get his first official UFC win and have it look great. I don't like the way that they do these sometimes, but that's how it is. He'll probably get 3 fights in the UFC for Chapman, and he'll get knocked out 3 times, and then he'll be back wherever he came from. I didn't even watch tape on him. I mean, so it's whatever though. I think Wint destroys him. This is one of the ones where you could see under a half a round prop floating out there. Might be worth a dabble. Then we got Judice versus Chavez. This is one of the fights I like a lot. I've got Judice. I got Judice. Like, this is just like how crazy this is. There's a prop called most significant strikes. It's basically whatever fighter you think is going to have the most significant strikes in the fight. DraftKings has Judice most significant strikes at minus 1,200. So they're basically saying that they feel like she's going to double her up on strikes, at least. Now I will say FanDuel's is a lot closer. FanDuel's most significant strike prop on Judice is like a minus 590. So that's more playable as a parlay piece. But I do like Judice a lot. She's going to be the way better striker. I mean, she's already averaging like nine significant strikes per minute. So if you think Chavez is going to last all 3 rounds and isn't going to get a takedown at all, then Judice is going to end up with probably anywhere from 120 to 160 significant strikes. So I took this. I got Judice minus 7.5, minus 125. This covers me if it goes to a decision, but if it goes to a decision, then Judice has to win all 3 rounds, because all 3 rounds would be a minus 9. If she loses 1 round, then she's only a minus 7. A minus 5.5, I think the odds were minus 165. So there was a pretty good drop off on the odds. So that's why I took a minus 7.5. And then obviously if she wins by knockout or gets a submission for some unknown reason, then you win it also. This just covers me just in case if Chavez makes it all 3 rounds. Then next I got Medeiros versus Jones. I like this fight a lot. I just don't like the odds. I like Jones to win. I really do, but should he be a minus 300 favorite? I'm not so sure about that one. Jones is going to be the higher volume striker and the way better grappler. But Medeiros could possibly be the better technical striker. But Jones has way more ways to win, So I'm siding with Jones. I just wish the odds were minus 150, minus 175 range instead of minus 300. This is another fight that I really like a lot. We got D. Ritter versus Doldies. Doldies is live for an early KO, but I don't think he gets it. I think D. Ritter is going to have such a huge advantage once this fight hits the mat, and I think that's where it goes. And he either gets submitted or it's going to be 3 rounds of, him not getting back up to the end of the round. He'll be fishing for first submissions the whole time, though. So I like the Ritter a lot here. I've got him in a parlay on sub slash decision. Brings the juice down a little bit and makes the parlay a lot better. And then next, we've only got 2 more fights to go. Next, we got Spivak versus Petrino. This is a tough one. On the feet, Petrino's a way faster striker. He's going to be the better striker. He's just going to be quicker on his feet. I want to take Spivak at plus money so bad. I really do. I think he's like a plus 150. And but I just don't know if I have confidence in him grappling. He's going to have to grapple in order to win this fight. And he just hasn't been doing it. Could he? Of course he could. I'm gonna stay away from this fight, but I want to take a stab on Spivak so bad. But if he doesn't grapple, he doesn't really have a shot. So I'm gonna stay away for now, and we'll see if I decide to do anything at the last second. But I doubt it. And then the last and final fight it's going to be a banger either way. If Rodrigues beats Hernandez, it's going to be an early knockout. If Hernandez beats Rodrigues, it's probably more than likely going to be Hernandez getting takedowns, wearing Rodrigues out, and either getting a late submission, or it could be a ground and pound KO, or could even be a decision, but I don't expect that. So I'm going to go with Hernandez getting the takedowns and surviving the early onslaught of Rodrigues, even though Rodrigues is big and scary and powerful. I'm going to go with this right here. I've got Hernandez over 1.5 rounds and winning the fight, minus 115. Now, I will say this. One thing I did not write down, but I thought the odds were a little too high, is on FanDuel, they got the most significant strike prop also, but they have Rodrigues most significant strikes at a plus 305. DraftKings was a plus 200. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying for the value, if this fight stays on the feet, Rodrigues might outstrike him. So I might throw a couple dollars on it, like, maybe enough to win like $20 or something like that, something around there. But that's what I got for my breakdown. I'm going to pull up my parlays here in a second. I've got 3 of them. I was just going to have the 2, but then I added a third. So my first one is the Ritter decision/sub and Hernandez money line plus 119. My second one is the play that has the PFL on it. It's Judice decision/KO, the Ritter sub decision, and Cyborg just money line plus 132. And then my third one is Padilla, Haqparast over 1.5 rounds. Oh, wait, that's wrong. That's Padilla, Haqparast, fight to start third round. Sorry, it's not over 1.5. It's fight to start the third round. That's a misprint. Yeah. So that's my bad. I'm sorry. Gosh, I screwed that one up. That's a pretty big difference there. It's like another 7.5 minutes longer. So that's fight to start third rounds for Padilla versus Haqparast. Then Young versus Dornsonville start round 2. That one's right. And then Spivak versus Petrino start round 2. And that's correct also. That was a plus 107. So that's what I got for UFC Fight Night Hernandez versus Rodrigues. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, questions, please leave them in the chat. And hopefully everybody has a great weekend and we cash some tickets together.